everybody, and thanks for tuning in today for Core Yoga. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. If you are new to this class or even new to yoga, that is a-okay. I take time to build up a pose, so we talk about alignment. I don't expect you to know poses just by calling out the names. And I incorporate core exercises that I experience off the mat, as well as core toning exercises that I have experienced on the mat, and I tie them into a yoga-based flow. We'll start nice and slow with the warm-up, pick up some speed, and then slow down the movement, so much so until we finish on our back in a final resting period where we remain still on our backs for about 2 to 3 minutes. It gives us time to absorb the benefits of the class, and it's also a time for reflection, because yoga is not just about the physical body and a physical practice, it is about what goes on in the inside as well. With that being said, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. This class can be challenging. Take breaks if you need, take water breaks if you need. You are more than welcome to take a rest period at any time. You do not need to wait for me to cue you to do so. And then always check with the doctor before you start a new exercise plan. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get started. We're going to start today flat on our backs with your feet facing the front of the mat. So feet are going to be planted on the mat. You're going to lay flat down. Separate your feet until they're about mat's width distance apart. Let the knees fall together. And then open your arms nice and wide at your sides, palms face up, to help open the chest, open the shoulders. And we're going to start here with just some breathing. If you're comfortable closing the eyes, go ahead and do so, and start to deepen the breath. And imagine that every time we exhale, the muscles in our body are relaxing just a little bit more. Every time we exhale, we're releasing things from our body that no longer serves us, whether that be thoughts or emotions, stress, concerns, all leaving the body on the exhale. Start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we'll take a few more breaths like this. Breathing in through nose and exhaling out through mouth. And then resume your natural pattern of breath. Open the eyes if they were closed. Draw both knees in towards your chest with feet side by side. And you're going to hold on either below the knees or on the back of the thighs and pull the legs close to body. So whatever feels most comfortable for your knees. Holding on below the knees on the shins or on the back of the thighs. Stretching the low back here. We're going to take a few breaths here, making them nice and deep. And the front of your chest might feel a little compressed. You can breathe into the sides of your body, even on the back side of the body. And then place your arms back along the floor at shoulder height, palms face up. Let the knees fall to the right into recline spinal twist. Knees might touch all the way down to the floor, but they do not have to. We're going to take this nice and easy. So we're going to lower our knees lower than our hips for a nice gentle twist. And turn the head to the left. Getting a nice stretch for the core and sort of warming it up here in this gentle twist. Slowly draw the knees back to the center of the chest, and then let the knees fall over to the left. Lower the knees lower than hip height and turn your head to the right. And take a few breaths here, pressing right shoulder down towards the floor. Slowly draw knees back to center and return feet to the mat. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling, pressing out through the heel, and hold on to the back of the thigh. Now working with the muscles in the legs here. Feeling a stretch on the back side of the leg. Now go ahead and point through the toes, feeling the stretch on the front side of the leg now. And And then just go back and forth between flexing and pointing, maybe make some ankle circles. Making sure to go both directions. And then cross the ankle into figure 4. So right ankle crosses over the left knee. If you look down at your legs, they should look like an upside down 4. Allow the hip to open. This might be enough sensation for you here, so hang out here. If you're looking for more sensation in the hips, you're going to float the left foot off the mat, flexing the feet, keeping ankles in line with the knee. And you can thread your hands through and hold on to the back of the thigh here for a little support. At any time during the class, if you try to make modifications to a pose, increase sensation, and it just doesn't feel right, it's always okay to take a step backwards. Release the pose, so feet return to the mat. Now extend the left leg up to ceiling, pressing out through heel, holding on to back of thigh, taking a few breaths here. Go ahead and point through the toes for me now. And then if you added some ankle circles on the other side, do the same here and make sure to go both directions. Slowly cross the ankle into figure 4 over right knee. Remembering you can stay and hang out here or create a little more sensation by floating the foot off the mat, ankles in line with knees. Release the pose and return both feet to the mat. Lower your arms along the sides of your body, palms face down. If you cannot touch the back of your heels with your fingertips, adjust your feet until you can make contact. Bend the elbows so fingertips are facing up towards the ceiling, and lift the hips into bridge pose, pressing into the feet as well as the arms to lift the hips high into the air, lift chin from chest. And we're holding here, opening the chest, strengthening our legs, still warming up our core, getting a nice stretch on the front side of the body. Then slowly lower hips back down to mat. Draw knees back into the chest, holding below the knees or on the back of the thighs. Give me a nice squeeze here for a counter stretch. If your hands are not already on the back of your thighs, place them there now, and then start to rock forwards and backwards, so much so until you can rock yourself into a seated position. And let's all meet in tabletop on our hands and our knees, wrists stacked under shoulders and knees stacked underneath the hips. Lift up to the tips of the fingers for me and round the spine into cat pose, tucking chin to chest. Then lift and arch into cow. Gaze is now up to the ceiling. A few more times at your own pace, rounding the spine to cat, chin to chest, drawing belly in. Then lifting and arching to cow, let the belly hang as we gaze up to ceiling. A few more times, moving at your own time. Maybe inhaling as you lift and arch the spine, and exhaling as you round the spine. Then settle into stillness in a tabletop position with hands flat to mat. Lift your left arm up to the ceiling and thread the needle. So we pass the raised hand in between the space on the right side, lowering all the way down to left shoulder, bringing our cheek down to the mat. So we're getting a bit of a twist here, still opening the chest and the shoulders. Try to relax the right shoulder away from the ear. Take a few more breaths here. Then use your right hand to press yourself back up to tabletop, and we'll take the opposite side. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling and we thread the needle, passing it through the left this time, bringing cheek down to mat. Slowly press yourself back to tabletop and lift up to the tips of the fingers once again. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Heels in line with hip, then flatten the back by drawing the belly in. Nice and engaged core. Draw right knee in towards your chest for your first tabletop crunch. Lift that knee as close to your chest as you can. Round your spine, pull your belly in. Keep lifting that knee high and then extend the leg behind you again. We're just gonna get a feel for that one more time. Tabletop crunch, right knee to chest, round the spine, pull the belly in, then step or place your foot into lunge. Foot in between the hands and ankle below the knee. Draw the breath in through your nose as you lift right arm up to the ceiling, twisting from the belly first, then ribs, ending with the chest, gazing up to ceiling. Core is engaged. As we exhale out through the mouth, we'll lower fingertips down to the floor. Nice slow movement. We'll do that 2 more times. Breath in as we twist from the belly, lifting arm up to ceiling. Exhale, fingertips to mat. Last time, breathing in, lifting arm up. Right foot stays flat to mat, and we exhale, fingertips to floor. Extend the right leg behind you, point through the toes. Keep the body active, then return to tabletop. Knee to mat. Left leg extends, heel in line with hip. Flatten the back, so draw the belly in and give me a crunch on this side. Knee to chest, round the spine. Then inhale to extend the leg behind you. Exhale to crunch, knee to chest, round the spine. Pull that knee high, step or place the foot into lunge. Draw the breath in through your nose and lift left arm up to ceiling as you find the twist in the belly. Exhale, fingertips to mat. Breathe in for 2, nice, slow, deep breaths. Fill up the chest and exhale, fingertips to mat. Last time, find the twist or warming up our core and exhale, fingertips to floor. Extend your left leg behind you, pointing through the toes and return to tabletop. Lower to puppy pose, bringing elbows down to the mat, stacked underneath the shoulders and palms face down to floor. Head relaxes. Take a few breaths here, just getting some length in the spine. This pose is puppy pose. This is option 1 for your rest period throughout the class. And I do want to remind you, you can take this rest period at any time and jump back into the practice when you're ready. Option 2 is to find child's pose, sending hips all the way down to the heels and resting forehead on the mat. Option 2 for your rest position. If you're new to the class, try both out, see what works better for you. You are not committed to one or the other. You can switch it up depending how you feel throughout the practice. Take a few breaths here to finish our warm-up, a few moments of stillness. Then slowly meet me back in a tabletop position and lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend the left leg behind you, preparing for tabletop crunch. As you exhale, draw knee to chest, round the spine, belly in, step or place the foot into lunge. Right toes tuck onto the mat and lift up to just the pointer and the middle finger for me. Lift the right knee into the air, send your chest forward, draw belly in. Step up to half lift, so right foot steps up to meet the left. We flatten our back till it's parallel with floor, hands to shins, gazes down towards the mat. Lower to forward fold, so bend the knees enough so that your belly can make contact with thighs and let your arms and head hang heavy towards the floor. Now 1 vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spines up to a standing position, leaving our chin tucked into our chest until we make it all the way to standing. Give me a deep breath in through the nose, lifting arms out at your sides, up overhead, and slowly exhale out through the mouth, lowering arms down by your sides. So now we're going to move into the bulk of the practice. Before we do, I'm going to demo our plank sequence for the week. Every week we have a new plank sequence. I demo first, talk us through, and then we'll tie it into the practice together. So just watch me this first time through. So we're going to start in a plank position. Fingers are spread nice and wide. We want to distribute the weight through the top of the palm and out through the pads of the fingers. Wrists stacked under shoulders. Even if you've taken plank 1,000 times, just check your alignment, making sure ankles are in line with hips and they are in line with your shoulders. Whole body is active in plank, so my core is engaged, my thighs, my shoulders, everything. We're gonna do bear crawls today, so I'll only give us a countdown, something along the lines of we'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna step one knee in and then the other. So knees step in to line up over the hips. They're hovering off the mat. We're gonna hold, 2, 3, 4, and back to plank. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. So 3 times total. We'll take it down to forearm plank. We'll hold for 5 seconds. We'll release and carry on the sequence from there. If you're feeling tired the first time through, remember you can take a break and jump back in when you're ready. So we're all going to start at the top of our mat, feet hips width distance apart. Stand nice and tall with purpose at your mat. Relax shoulders away from the ears, palms are face forward. Slowly lift arms overhead, gaze up to the ceiling, then lower to forward fold, bending the knees, dropping belly to thighs, arms and head hang towards the floor. Rise to half lift, flatten your back, hands to shins, then step into your plank position. Plant your hands and step back into plank. We'll start our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4, back to plank. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and plank. Last time, step in, 2, 3, 4, plank. Lower to forearm plank. Hold for 5, 4, don't hold the breath. And release, tops of feet to mat, hands under shoulders, elbows up to ceiling. Slowly lift the chest off the mat into baby cobra. Shoulder blades meet behind the heart. And then press to your chosen rest position, whether that's puppy pose, elbows to mat, or child's pose, hips to heels. And take just a breath or two here. Slowly meet me back into a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of your fingers. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, step or place foot into lunge. Lift up to pointer and middle finger, and lift left knee off the mat. Send chest forward. Step up to half lift, hands to shins, back is flat. And lower to fold, belly to thighs. Slowly round the spine up to standing. Let chin come up from the chest. Very last. And we'll take that again. Arms slowly lift overhead. Gaze up to ceiling. Lower to fold, bend knees, drop belly to thighs, arms and head hang. Rise half lift, flatten the back, and step into your plank position. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Last time, knees come in, holding here. Step out, and meet in forearm plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Hands under shoulders, elbows up to ceiling, lifting the chest off the mat and pressing into your rest position. Puppy pose or child's, whichever you prefer. Take a breath or two here. Slowly meet me back in tabletop, lifting up to the tips of your fingers. Now extending your left leg behind you for tabletop crunch. Draw a knee in towards the chest, round the spine, and step the foot into lunge. Lift up to pointer and middle finger. Right knee lifts off the mat. Step up to half lift, hands to shins, back is flat. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. And slowly rise up to standing. Take your time, there's no rush. One last time through, arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling, and lower to fold, nice and slow. Rise half lift, flatten the back. Step into your plank position, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Last time, step in, 2, 3, 4, step out, and meet me in forearm plank. If you'd like to amp up your forearm plank, try side step, stepping one toe off the mat, bringing them back in, switching to the other side, and we release all the way down to the mat. Don't feel the need to increase sensation if you don't want to. Lift the chest to baby cobra and press into your rest position. However, we're not going to hold this rest position this time. We're going to rise right back to tabletop, lifting up to the tips of our fingers and extending our left leg behind us. Oop, let's switch. Right leg behind us. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, and step or place the foot into lunge. Slowly make your way up to half lift, hands to shins. Back is flat. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs, head hangs heavy. And slowly meet me back in a standing position. We're going to switch things up a little bit this time. Bring arms back overhead, gaze up to ceiling, and lower back to fold. Belly comes down to the thighs. Rise to half lift. Step back into a plank position and then lower the knees to tabletop, knees to mat. If you'd like to amp up your tabletop crunches, you can try with hands flat. It's going to require you to find a little more roundness in your spine, a little more lift in your core. If you try it out and it's not for you, it's okay, like I said, to take a step backwards. We're going to start with our left leg behind us, point through those toes. Exhale to tabletop crunch, knee to chest, round the spine. Inhale to extend, we'll take 2 more. Exhale to crunch, knee to chest. Inhale. Exhale, last time, knee comes to chest. We're gonna hold it here, don't hold the breath. See if you can lift the knee a little bit higher, then step or place it into lunge. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Right knee lifts off the mat. Bring hands to thigh and extend both arms overhead into high lunge. Left knee is stacked right over the ankle and we're on the ball of the right foot. Take a few breaths into the chest here. Then open to 5-pointed star, facing the right edge of our mat. Feet are flat and arms lowered down to shoulder height. Feet are facing forward. We're going to take our right hand and cross it over to our left foot. Fingertips don't have to come all the way down, just as far as you can reach, and then we're going to find the lift again. Adding a little twist for our core, working on our obliques. We're going to switch, so left hand comes down towards the right foot and back up. 2 more times, nice and slow. Right hand comes down. Up. Left hand. And up. One last time. Exhale as you find the twist. Draw belly towards the spine. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Bring hands to hips. Hinge forward from the hips, bringing fingertips down towards the floor. Bend the knees if you need to make that happen. We'll walk back into a lunge. So I'm going to walk my hands to the front of the mat. Left foot turns to the front of the mat, and I'm back on the ball of the right foot. Step back into your plank position, and we'll take our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Last time, step in, 2, 3, 4, step out, and meet in forearm plank. Remembering you can add some side steps if you're trying to add a challenge. We're holding here, and we release, hands under shoulders. Inhale to lift the chest, baby cobra, and exhale to your rest position. We will hold for a few breaths here. And just do a quick check-in with yourself, see how you feel in your body. Notice the rate of your heartbeat and the pace of your breath. Meet me back in a tabletop position, lifting up to the tips of the fingers for tabletop crunch. Extend your left leg behind you, point through the toes, give me a crunch, knee to chest, and step the foot into lunge. Slowly step up to half lift, hands to shins, back is flat. Lower to fold, belly meets the thighs. And slowly rise to a standing position. Same thing on the opposite side. Give me a deep breath in as you lift arms overhead. And a slow exhale out as you lower to forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift, flat in the back. Exhale as you step back into a plank position and lower the knees to tabletop. Preparing for tabletop crunches, lifting up to the tips of the fingers, extending your right leg behind you. Exhale to crunch, knee to chest. Inhale to extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Last time, exhaling to crunch. We're going to hold it here, but don't hold the breath. See if you can lift that knee a little higher, maybe even give it a kiss. Then step or place the foot into lunge. Left toes tuck onto the mat, lift the knee into the air. Bring hands to thighs and extend the arms overhead into high lunge. Take a few breaths here. Open to the 5-pointed star facing the left edge of your mat. Feet flat and arms at shoulder height. Then slowly we're going to cross. Doesn't matter which side you start with. Fingertips come down towards the feet. And then we lift back up to standing. Opposite side, crosses over. And inhale. Nice, slow for control. Make the core work. Here we go for 2. Crossing over. Last time, crossing over. Exhale to twist. Inhale to rise to standing. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Exhale, hands to hips. Hinge forward from the hips, bringing fingertips down towards the floor and walk into lunge. Right foot turns forward, lifting up to the ball of the left foot. Step back into plank for me and we'll take our sequence in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, step out. Last time, feet in, hold, step out to plank, and meet me in forearm plank. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Nice deep inhale, lift the chest to baby cobra, and slow exhale to find your rest position. And take a few rounds of breath here. Slowly rise to a tabletop position. Lift up to the tips of the fingers. Extend right leg behind you for tabletop crunch. Exhale as knee meets the chest, round the spine, and step or place the foot into lunge. Inhale as you find half lift, hands to shins. Exhale as you lower to fold. Try to draw the inhale out as you slowly rise to standing. Then exhale at the top. Take both hands to your heart, lower your chin to your chest. And take a few rounds of breath here in stillness. Lower your arms down by your sides. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together, lifting arms out at your sides, breathing in through the nose, lifting arms up overhead. Exhaling out through the mouth, lowering arms down by our sides. Breath 2. Nice deep inhale, lifting arms overhead. Slow exhale, lowering arms back down to our sides. Last time, deep breath in. This time as we exhale, we'll swan dive to forward fold. So arms come wide out at our sides as we slowly lower to fold, dropping belly to thighs, letting arms hang heavy. Rise to half lift, flatten your back. And step into plank for our last plank sequence for the class. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Step in, 2, 3, 4. Step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Step in, 2, 3, 4, and step out. Meet me in forearm plank. For the last one, we're gonna hold for 15 seconds. I've already started counting. If you are tired, you're more than welcome to lower to your belly now. We're all gonna meet there eventually. We're still holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down to your belly. Bring your arms along the sides of your body, palms face up to the sky, and turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale out through your mouth, just let everything go onto your mat. And we'll take a short rest period here. Maybe eyes closed. Breath deepens just a little bit. Now gently turn your head to the opposite side, taking a short rest on this side as well. Bring your chin to the mat, place your hands underneath your shoulders, and press into your chosen rest position one last time for the class. Slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position with your legs extended out in front of you. Sitting in the center of your mat. Flex the feet. Lift both arms overhead. Slowly drop chin to chest, then round the spine into rounded back stretch, lowering the hands down to the knees. Elbows pointing out to long edges of the mat, and shoulders melting away from the ears. We'll take a few breaths here. Giving our bodies a moment to relieve any lasting or tension that our muscles are holding around the spine. Slowly start to lift the spine upright and meet me in staff pose, hands planted on either sides of your hips, extending the spine long out through the crown of your head, then relaxing back to a neutral position. Bend the knees so you can plant both feet on the mat and place your hands on the back side of your thighs. Start to walk the toes closer into the body, finding length out through the crown of the head once again, balancing on the sits bones, not on the tailbone. You can stay here for a modified version of boat pose, still engaging the core, finding length in the spine. If you'd like to add a little more work for the body, you're going to float both feet off the mat, still on the sits bones, ankles in line with knees, and chest stays lifting towards the ceiling. We're gonna hold for about 20 seconds here. So if feet need to come down to the floor, that's a-okay. If you'd still like to create even more of a challenge, you can remove your hands and place them out at your sides, palms face up. And we're gonna hold here. If you're wobbling, that's okay. Just know that your body is working. We're strengthening our core. It's important to keep our spine long. We're still lifting forward through our chest. We've got another 5 seconds here. We're almost done. Then we're gonna bring our hands back to the thighs if we lifted them out at our sides. If our feet are floating, we're gonna bring them back to the floor, and then we'll walk our feet out away from the body so we're a little more comfortable. If you've moved around on the mat and you're not sitting in the center of your mat, make your way there now. And place hands on the back of your thighs and roll all the way down till you're flat on your back, just how we started. Feet separate, knees fall together, and arms wide out at our sides. Take a few moments of here in stillness as we slow down our practice, preparing our body for our final resting pose. We've still got a little more work to do, but at least we're on our backs now. Straighten your legs onto the mat and draw right knee into your chest for Appanasana. Feet are flexed. Interlace the fingers, holding below the knee and pulling thigh close to body. If that's uncomfortable on your knee, you can hold on to the back of the thigh instead. And if you'd like to add a bit of hip opening here, you can draw the knee out towards the right armpit, still keeping thigh close to the body. This pose is known as wind relieving posture because it massages our digestive system. It gets things moving, if you know what I mean. Release your hold, returning leg to mat. Then draw left knee in towards the chest, flexing the foot, holding below the knee or on the back of the thigh. Whatever's most comfortable. Take a few breaths here. If you added the hip opening on the other side, do the same thing here, drawing knee out towards the armpit. And release, leg returns to mat. Draw both knees in towards your chest, give them a squeeze, feet side by side. Place your hands on the back side of your thighs and extend both legs up towards the ceiling into our inversion for the day. Try to line the heels up over the hips. You can hold onto the back of your thighs for some support. And not only are we improving circulation, but we're also inducing relaxation, calming down our nervous system. We're going to hold for about another 25 seconds here. So if you need some ease in your legs for whatever reason, bend the knees, drawing thighs close to body, but keep heels elevated. Slowly draw both knees in towards the chest, lower heels down towards your glutes. And place your arms along the floor, palms face up at shoulder height. Let the knees fall to the right, back into recline spinal twist, just how we started the class. This time, knees can be in line with the hips as head turns to the left. If you still like to find ease in this pose, lower the knees away from the hips. If you'd like to increase sensation, increase the twist, you're going to inch your knees a little closer towards your arm. Be gentle with your body, don't push yourself. Find a position where you can take nice deep breaths and you feel sensation, but not uncomfortable sensation. Slowly draw the knees back to center of chest. Let them fall over to the left and head turns to the right. If you made any adjustments on the opposite side, do the same here. Maybe you notice the sides are a little different. You need a little less or a little more. Just listen to your body. Make adjustments if needed. Slowly draw knees back to the center of the chest and we'll hold on to our legs one last time. Take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it at the top, lift your head to meet your knees, squeeze all the muscles in your body nice and tight. We'll hold for a second here. And as you exhale out through your mouth, we'll release our hold so we can lay flat on our mat right into final resting period. Spreading our arms and legs nice and wide. Let the toes fall away from one another, palms face up to the ceiling. And gently close the eyes if they're not closed already. Try to relax the muscles in your face, around the brow. If your teeth are touching, separate the jaw, upper and lower just a bit. And drop your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale out through your mouth, let everything go onto your mat. The best way to find ease in this pose is to follow the pattern of our breath. So following every rhythmic, repetitive rise and fall of our chest until I let you know that it's time to rise. If your focus has wandered, bring your attention back to your breath. Now begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, welcome movement back to your body. Slowly roll over to the right side of your body, taking a moment of stillness on your side. You can use your arm to support your head. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered to the floor, slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. As always, to end class, we'll take 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Today we'll take a 4-count breath. So we'll inhale for a count of 4 and we'll exhale for a count of 4. If after the first round of breath you notice that count comes easy to you, I'll ask you to extend your count to 5 seconds. Let's all start on an exhale, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breath in, 2, 3, 4, and breath out, 2, 3, 4. Last time, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling, 2, 3, and 4. Take a second to thank yourself for making time to take this class today. There's a light that exists within me that honors the light that exists within each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the practice. If our final resting pose, that was your first time and it felt extremely long, it was only 3 minutes. I promise it comes easier and it's so beneficial and great for yourself. If you enjoyed this class, a new version of this class is aired every Wednesday at 8 a.m. I also teach a Vinyasa yoga class, which is structured much like this, but without all the core work. That's aired every Monday at 8 a.m. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, comments, concerns, reach out. I'll do my best to get back to you. And I hope to see you guys next week. Enjoy the rest of your day.